Okay, so we're going to talk about the tactical worksheet. And as a battalion chief, this is basically your accountability board for the units that are responding on any given incident. We have two different types of all-hazard tactical worksheets, the vertical and the horizontal. I'm partial to the vertical, meaning that the units run down the left side. Horizontal is the units just run across the top. It's dealer's choice, whatever you feel comfortable with. I can use both. I just like the vertical. But anyway, taking a look at these tactical worksheets, and by now you should have put your eyes on some of these tactical worksheets that your battalion chief carried. There's a PDF file in the quick links page, so you should have already at least taken a look at these tactical worksheets. I sent you guys an email that has the PDF file. So just looking across the top, place for the address, the incident number, the date, jot out your incident objectives. Majority of the time, the companies that are responding to full assignments, we have policies in place that tell us what our incident objectives are. If we're going to deviate from the norm, obviously communication is the key, so you need to make sure that the crews that are operating on the fireground know what the objectives are. And it can be simple as, Command Engine 732. You're going to be Division 1 supervisor operating on the first floor, obviously. I need you to stretch a line and go ahead and confine and extinguish the fire. You'll have the Tower 703 working with you. Just open up, do a primary search of the fire area. Something as simple as that. Anyway, not going to get too heavily involved into that. Initial occupant status, jot that down. It's a good memory jogger, making sure that if that part of the initial on-scene report and the SIR weren't given to you, that these are kind of memory joggers of things that you need to close those loops in order to proceed with command. Side Charlie report, you have something there. Maybe there's an exterior basement, maybe the utilities are back there, whatever. Any exposures, what's the lowest level of the building? That comes into play with guard departments and high rises, things like that. Underneath of that, your 2 out, who's the safety officer, rapid intervention group. Usually, if you look over here, you've got your 5th engine, which is shaded in yellow, is called the RIC. That's going to go over here, and then when they fill out the rapid intervention dispatch, the rest of the units will go there, and that'll fill out your rig. Make sure that you communicate with the rapid intervention company. Let them know that they're the rapid intervention group supervisor, and these are the units that they have. They should be able to acknowledge that. And I'm sorry, it's the 5th engine company. As you see, you got a 6th spot down here for an engine company. That's going to come into the rural water supply. I'm not going to really go into that right now. Going down here, you've got 3 letter T's. Those are for your trucks or towers. RS is rescue squad. A/M, that's ambulance or medic unit, the additional battalion chief. And then you've got all of these spaces over here to list the additional units that are coming. If you don't catch them on the dispatch, obviously you can refer to your MDC, and that'll have the units that are on there as well, including any volunteer chiefs, the duty chief, or anybody else that's responding. So once your initial box alarm is written down, you should have already listened to the assuming command recording that I had sent to you guys. Now that you've established command, that's where you're going to start writing your units in here, and we're just going to do something really simple. We'll just say it's a 5-engine box alarm. Obviously, we'll say engine 701, engine 702, engine 716, engine 719, and we'll say PG engine 834, truck 716, tower 719, rescue squad 742, medic, and I'll do with an M, 701, and we have battalion chief 704 is also coming. Okay, so that's your initial assignment. As you start assigning units to groups and divisions, we're going to cross them off over here. This is letting me know who I've got in my bullpen. Okay, I haven't assigned these units yet. Granted, if engine 701 gets on the scene, they're already going to be operating on the fire floor. Let's say it's a guard department and they're on the 2nd floor. You're going to get asked for the LCAN. Once that happens, they're going to tell you where they are. You say, okay, engine 701, I'm going to assign you to the second floor as a Division II supervisor, and you're going to have yourself and truck 716. They're going to acknowledge. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to make Division II, DIV, and that's the number 2. And then I'm going to take engine 701, and I'm going to put them right here. And I'm also going to put in truck 716. Whoops, 716. Right there. They're working on Division 2 now. I usually put a little S in parentheses next to 701. That's letting me know they're the supervisor. They're no longer in my bullpen. So now I'm going to cross out engine 701. I'm going to cross out truck 716. It's important that you do that because that lets you know how many units you have left versus how much work needs to be done on the fireground. That may transition into I need to call for a task force or a second alarm. Okay? So at that point, they're operating on the second floor. Now you may want to send somebody up to the third floor. So you might call engine 716. I'm sorry, engine 702. I'm going to need you to go to wherever you want them to go. If you've got a decent amount of fire and 701 needs additional people, you can take engine 702. We'll put them in Division 2 working as a backup line for engine 701. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll take engine 702. We'll move him into Division 2, okay? I'm going to cross out engine 702. I have to get on the radio. I have to call engine 701. He's my Division 2 supervisor. It'll be Commander Division 2. Engine 701 will answer. Division 2, go ahead. I'm also giving you engine 702. Copy or acknowledge. Make sure that they got that transmission. They're going to call back, okay, I copy. I'm going to have engine 702. Now you've got these 3 units operating on the second floor. Want to send somebody up to the third floor. Command engine 716. Go ahead. I need you to move up to the third floor. You're going to be my Division 3 supervisor. Division 3. Okay. Engine 716. They're going to acknowledge. Put a little S in parentheses. And command engine 716. You're also going to have tower 719 with you. Engine 716 is okay. Division 3 supervisor. I have tower 719. So I put 719 there, cross them off the list. Okay? So now what that leaves me with is, and I cross off engine 716, engine 719, and rescue squad 742. Okay? So I still need to have searches done. Okay? I need to have a rehab or the rehab set up. I'm going to call for the rig, and as those units come in, Montgomery will come back and say, all right, your rigs are responding. You can look at your MDC. Let's turn around and say, I've got engine 834 as my rapid intervention company. So engine 834. With PG County units, it's important that you make sure that they understand that they're rapid intervention. Okay? They're my rapid intervention company, and on that I got Rescue Squad 741. And I also got Truck 6. And then they also gave me Ambulance 701. Okay, they just freed themselves up from the hospital. So that's your rapid intervention group. As an incident commander, you come back, command engine 834. Be advised, you are going to be my rapid intervention company. You're going to have engine 741, truck 706, and ambulance 701 as the rapid intervention dispatch. You're going to be my rig supervisor. They'll acknowledge that. Okay, so now you've got those units working as your rapid intervention group, okay? And you could have written them down here if you want to and scratch them off. So now I need to make sure that the searches get done. So I'm going to call Rescue Squad 742. Commander Rescue Squad 742, go ahead. I need you to give me a search starting on the fire floor and then working your way out. If you need some additional help, let me know. No, acknowledge that. So I'm going to make a search group. Okay, and that'll be Rescue Squad 742. They may say, Command, we've got a lot of apartments to search. I'm going to need an additional unit. Well, if I look at my chart, I still have engine 719 that's available. So I can say, okay, Command engine 719, you're going to be part of the search group. Rescue Squad 742 is the supervisor. You're going to report to Rescue Squad 742, and let's go ahead and conduct a search. So I'm going to cross them out. I'll put engine 719 right here. So now I've got those 2 units operating as a search. Now if you take a look, what do I have left? Well, I have Medic 701, okay? They are there for setting up my rapid intervention company, or I'm sorry, setting up my rehab. So I really have no more units to mess with, and if the fire's still going, I need to start thinking about maybe a task force or a second alarm. Part of your size up when you take a look at that building when you arrive on the scene is try to understand, what do I have, how many moving parts are on this incident, and am I going to need additional units? Okay, if you think you may need additional units, when in doubt, call for them. Tell Montgomery, go ahead and start a task force, or go ahead and give me a second alarm. And then you need to make sure that you capture those units here as well, and then you can start plugging them in. The other thing you have to think about is when these units start running low on air, they're going to be coming out. If there's still work to do on that division, then you're going to have to start plugging in other units. You can't take from the Rapid Intervention Company because you have them there for a purpose. So you may need to start thinking about calling for those extra units. But as you can see, a simple box alarm set up right now with the Rapid Intervention Dispatch is set up just like this. I've got 2 divisions set up, and then I've got a search set up. Okay, so theoretically, I've got 3 supervisors. So with all these people on the fireground, I'm only talking to 3 people. Division 2, which is Engine 701, Division 3, which is Engine 716, and my search group, which is Rescue Squad 742. Those are the 3 people that I'll be talking to. The reason why I like to put an S next to their name lets me know who I'm calling. There's times in the fireground where I may say, Commander Division 2. They don't answer. And I call them back, Commander Division 2. They don't answer. Third time I call Commander Division 2, Engine 701. It's a general mistake. We don't think about it. We're in the heat of the moment. Oh, that's me. That's right. Engine 701, Division 2, go ahead. Then you can ask for an LCAN. That's what we use when we want to find out what the status is. We use the LCAN. As you move through this sheet, you come down here, you've got a rehab unit set up here for rehab. You can have a rehab group. You can take Medic 701, you can make them part of the rehab group. I don't advise making the EMS duty officer part of that rehab group. EMS duty officer can be used for other things on the fireground. These guys are trained really well. So you can ask them to find the occupants, find out if they need Red Cross, find out how many occupants are going on there. You can really use them for some critical mission stuff. You still have your 2nd Battalion Chief that's responding. You bring them in the car with you, and that's where you start to make your command team, where you can have them either talk on the radio and you can finish with the chart, or you can hand them the chart and you can talk on the radio. So it's your choice. Down here, you have gas and electric. So obviously, you want to make sure that the utilities are controlled. When that's done, if they say, yep, we have gas and electric, then you can tell Montgomery to go ahead and start the appropriate utilities company. Maybe mark the time that the gas was shut off. And then you also have your exposure chart right here, as well as your little building diagram. And then over here, you've got some graph paper where you can I just like to use it to take little notes. If you flip these tactical worksheets over, you'll find that they have the Mayday action plan. Kind of gives you a clear spelled out what you need to be doing. And then over here are your tactical considerations. We always use the RECO VS. Other little memory jogs people like to say all battalion chiefs do is check boxes. I don't look at these as box checkers. I look at these more of reminders. Okay, the level of PPE, that's going to come into play when we are doing overhaul. It's your responsibility to confer with the safety officer to what is the appropriate level of PPE. Do you need code enforcement, FEI, Red Cross? You're going to be there a while, you might need a canteen. If you're going to be there a while, you might need an air unit. So these are all memory joggers. Back here, you've got another large open area to write stuff on. You can take notes, you can make a diagram of the building, whatever it is that you want to do. That's tactical worksheets in a nutshell. It's kind of down and dirty. When you guys take your test, you're going to have about 10 minutes to do an incident. I think that's the time they give you, 10 or 20 minutes. I can't remember. It's been a while for me. But just understand that time goes by really quick. Utilize the tactical worksheet as opposed to a scratch piece of paper. This keeps your thoughts organized. At the end of the day, I like using a pencil. I like the tactile feel of a pencil as opposed to a pen. The pen ends up making me write really fast, and it also makes it a little more sloppy. My handwriting's not the greatest as it is, so I like using a pencil. But that's your choice. So other than that, hopefully this gives you a little overview of using the tactical worksheets. I would really stress you getting to know using these. When you pass the test and you get on the list, start listening to box alarms in throughout the county if you're not doing them, and start charting these. You can print these out, they're PDF forms, and start charting box alarms as you listen to them. So that's all I got. So thanks a lot.